Yeah. All right, Hoover. Hey, to the culture enthusiasts, excuse me, to the Hoover Knights, to the Hoover Collective, and to the people, and always, most certainly, to the people. Here we are again. It's a grand rising. We have to admit that we're blessed, we're fortunate, or whatever um, handle you want to attach to that, man. It is what it is. That being, we are here. So it's great to be back, man. I love it. When I come back, man, I love to be able to tap in with the people, touch bases with them, basically. And again, for those of you who are coming in, who will come in, you're new to this platform, man, this get out right here, touching bases with the people, is all about the people. We're talking about the people. We're talking about nothing else but the people. So let's get into this, man. I was checking something out, man. Um, just just in the news, regular news, not YouTube news. But it like I said last week, earlier in the week, it's going down, man. Donald Trump has decided it's our turn. Believe that. When he say it, believe him, trust him. It's like I say with other people who have these platforms and stuff. When you hear them speak about what it is they're about, you have to trust them. You have to believe them at their word. So Donald Trump, at his word, has sent in federal agents into the District of Columbia. Now, he said, as this was going down, that Chicago was next, LA, Texas. He started naming them, man. So anywhere there's a black population, and in that black population, there is what they call crime. It is what it is, crime, drug uses, murder, shootings, gang activity, whatever the case may be. Wherever that is, he said he's coming. He's sending his guys. So take him at his word. But I think, though, in a lot of respects, man, this is only possible because I think we have bought into this thing, man, this subculture in our culture, namely social media, that promotes and propagates this get out, man. It's no other way to put it, man. We have latched on to this thing, man, and it's not even a symbiote. It's not really a part of us. It's just something. Dang, what's the word for it, man? It's alien, man. It's alien. That's, in my opinion, it's gotten to that point where it's alien. It's not really us. It's not our culture. It's not us as human beings, people, those who are melanated. Um, Ask yourselves, man, before we fall into this plummet, man, with all these blacks dying, who benefits from it? Who benefits from it? We got to know that we denoted blacks dying. And when I mean denote, you look it up if you need to. We provoke it and we promote it. Um, Here's a fact, man. In anything in terms of uh, economy, commerce, money changing hands or whatever the case may be, man, you can't have buyers without suppliers. All right? Think about that one. You can't have buyers without suppliers. People are buying into this get down, but at the same time, you know, they're only buying into it because we are supplying. We are supplying. We're we're the engine to this stuff, man. And people they're capitalizing on it. We're exploiting ourselves at this point. At this point, no one else, man, could be blamed. We can't blame no one else for what's going on in our communities. And what's going on in our communities, man, it's sad. Not only that, but it's detrimental. You know, we have to get to the point where, hey, man, we got to put people before paper. People before paper. Y'all got to understand that phrase, man. That's a new phrase we'll use here. And I got it from one of our people in the chats, and I appreciate that because it's solid. It has so many connotations to it. It has so many meanings. People before paper, y'all. We got a lot saying, hey, man, the bag, the bag, the bag, the bag, the bag, you know, and they're getting the bag because, people are willing to allow paper come before them. You know what I mean? Again, you can't have buyers without suppliers. You know, so hey, let's get this thing up and running like we always do, Tuesday and Thursday, 6:30 until whenever hey, we just said what we said, man, and then we move on. Um, as always, though, for like I said, for those who are coming in, Oak Park Boxing, hey man, welcome to the Get Down. This is the first time I've seen you up in here, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you up in the Get Down, man. I can't speak to the question you asked right there, so I can't address that because I don't know. All right, but what I do know is that this Get Down, Oak Park, is about positivity, brother. That's not to say he's not or anyone else isn't, but our thing is on a different Get Down. We're on a different plane. All right. So hey man, I see you, Pope, man. What's happening with it, man? I checked your Get Down out today, man. As always, man, I'm there. I'm there. I'm gonna hit that thumbs up, man. I'm gonna share it, man. You know what I'm saying? And I will comment. Tell people to like, share, subscribe, and comment to your Get Down, brother, because we need you in this Get Down. Like I said, man, not just you, but there are many, many others. I was talking about one for instance last week, and I forgot the name of them, but I'm subscribed there, and they're called the the African diaspora. Hey, man, they not playing. So I send a shout out to African diaspora, man. And when you brothers and sisters feel like you want to go check them out, man. Look how they getting down, man. They ain't with the funnies, man. They ain't with the funnies. They're addressing those issues that matter to us most. And that's why I thought about them last week, but I could not recall their platform name. But there it is, man. African diaspora. Hey, man, again, Pope, man, do your thing, bro. Do your thing, man. Whatever your mind tells you to speak on, man, speak on it, man. And that's my advice. Uh, you one of the brothers in these Get Down, man, and I appreciate you being in the Get Down, man. Game banging life coach. That's Coach Zoe, crazy old man from Raymond. Another Get Down, man. The brother had something today. I watched it this morning, man, before work, and he posed a question. How many times in a day do we think about gang shit, man? Think about that. And that goes to especially those in this chat, on this platform. But for those who are not a part of this Get Down every day or every Tuesday and Thursdays, man, think about that. When y'all going on social media, man, is it because you had a thought about some gang stuff? You want to go hear the latest spill, tea, or gossip? Come on, man, we got to be better than that, man. There's more to us than that. But I checked the brother thing out this morning, man, and he was on point, hit the nail on the head, because every day I think about gang shit, not necessarily in a negative sense. I think about, these communities that have this going on, man, in a positive light, trying to figure out, man, what can we do? How can we do it? Or how can we get to the point where we can bring brothers and sisters together to get them away from this gang shit? Because again, it's not beneficial to us. We're just suppliers, man, to this Get Down, man. And we got buyers buying it up. They in, man. They winning. Like I say, we have a lot of these platforms have a lot of sponsors, advertisers, and the whole nine. They're winning. They're winning. They are winning. We don't see none of that in the community, especially in the communities we come from where it's sorely needed. Those resources, that money. Let's be real, man. But yeah, game banging life coach, man. That's Coach Zoe, man. Always, man, love and respect to the homie, man. Shout out to him, man. Do your thing, man. Um, the homie, man, Damian Porter, man. Y'all know his Get Down, man. Go on in there and do your thing, bro. Again, he's another one. I've never heard him talk negative, about all this stuff that's going on. So that's why I support him, man. We want to get Milk 7-4 up in this Get Down, man. Something positive. Milk got a lot of followers, man. A lot of followers who, if he put that material out there, man, could help change the direction of the way, the direction and where and how this or where this stuff is going. All right. He's one. And same thing, man, to BOF, man. Same thing, man. You brothers have the wherewithal, the resources, man. You guys have the following to do these things, man. you know. And I'm suggesting that, man, there are clicks, there are hits, and there is a bag in positivity. You know, we just got to understand and decide when we want to, you know, throw our hat in that ring, man, and let's go at it, man. Go at it the same way you would the reactionary stuff or all the stuff that you know or you think or you feel by the check or whatever the bag that you get, you know, gets you that money when them clicks and hits. We could do it the same way, man, on the positive tip. It can be done. It's just a matter of getting it done. It's just a matter of individuals saying, okay, let me do this. While I'm thinking about that, I can't help but think about the loved one, Tony, aka Cartoon Man. I hope everything is everything, man. Again, um, I support you. You know, do your thing, man. You know, make it happen, man. Make it happen to the point where you're bringing some substance to this get down. You bring some substance to this get down, brother. That's needed. That is needed. Again, it's the same old shenanigans. We see it, you know, every day. You know, I have to be honest. I don't indulge. I again though I do get links, and when I get a link, the main thing I want to look for is what the title is, and from the title, I go to the comments. I don't watch the get down. And again, man, people don't pay attention to the comments, you know, because they're in terms of positivity, they're few and far between, you know, when we're talking about positive comments in other people's platforms or get downs in their chats. You know, there are not enough positivity than there is negativity in the responses or, you know, the statements made based upon whatever that content is. Hopefully, man, we'll get to the point where brothers start to, you know, not feel some kind of way, but think some kind of way, and especially in terms of our communities, us, you know, us. Um, Again, there's a lot going on. I mentioned briefly the other day about your situation in Compton, you know, where the Mexicans are saying they run it, they rule it now, it's theirs, you know what I mean? And it makes you wonder. I mean, man, you know, numbers don't necessarily get that, you know, or create that, you know, type of statement. I think it's looking at what, let's be honest, the opposition, looking at how the opposition carry themselves so that they can put out narratives and propaganda to support what they're saying. If the opposition is not on point, if the opposition is opposition against itself, anybody can basically come in and take over some stuff because there's no structure, there's no unity, there's none of the things that matter to keep things together, you know? So think about that. Think about that again. Hey, man, you can't have buyers without suppliers, you know? And we're supplying these people with all the ammunition and anything else they need, man, to just keep buying this stuff up and making it explode, basically. You know, again, we're in a situation. I have a thought. I'm gonna figure out how to say what I'm thinking, and then let's see what takes place a month from now in terms of whether or not I was right with my, you know, my understanding of how things are going. But it concerns us and others. You know what I mean? And how this thing, see, we're thinking it's just us that's battling each other. We have people, man, at war with us as well, but we're distracted. So we don't see what's really going on behind the scenes because, you know, we can't see the forest for the trees. Let's put it like that. We can't see the snow for the blizzard, you know. But this is some serious stuff, y'all. This is some serious stuff. So again, man, my shouts out, man, to those podcasters that are on this path of positivity, prosperity, productivity, posterity, and the people. That thing called power, man. Those all these things, man, create power. You know, so my shout is out to them, and I wish you brothers the best, man, and I wish you brothers success. Excellence is the objective. You know. Anyway, hey, Lisa Moore, how you doing? Good seeing you. Get down again, man. And when I said your name, I thought about Lorraine, and you know we're gonna get Lorraine a pass because Lorraine is happy and doing her thing. So more power to her, whether she come in or not. But Lisa, how are you? Say, big bro, blessings to you and the brothers and sisters in the chat. There you go, man. It's positive right there. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Hoover Street, how you doing, bro? I hope everything on your end, bro. He said social media has magnified the destructive behavior that's been festering in our community for the last few decades. Hey, true, true. But again, at what point or when is enough enough? When do we say, okay, man, that's enough? Social media is not in our best interest. So when do we stop this juggernaut? How do we stop this juggernaut? I gave my suggestion. If anyone has one, please put it in the chat and let's talk about that. How do we stop this juggernaut? It's all of a sudden, everything is free game, you know? And don't blame me, blame the internet, blame social media. That's the excuse, you know? Um, if it's not that, it's, hey man, I'm my bad. There's so many excuses that people put toward us or put in front of us to justify what they're doing. What I know, and I know y'all know they know it's not right. So hey man, yeah, social media is um a destructive thing, man, in our community, man. Ain't no getting around that, man. Hey, you're my Shakam Ra. He said thumbs up to the video. Appreciate you in the get down, man. I've seen your name before, man. I'm glad to see you back in this get down. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. C Shan, what up though, bro? Everything, man. Everything is everything. What up with you, C Shan? We're just, this is not content. Like I say, when we get on the get down, man, it's because I see a few names in here I haven't seen before, man. So I just want to express one thing to you guys about touching bases with the people. It's not content per se. I don't, or anyone else that's affiliated with this, sit down and write out a script or a narrative for this get down. It's purely organic. So if someone's coming into the chat and what they're talking about is above board and respectful, man, positive, we're gonna have that discussion, man. It's the people's turn to talk. It's the people's turn, man, to put out some content, so to speak. You know, we got these platforms and these social media personalities. They decide what the content is, and based upon whatever going on in the streets, will determine what that content will be. It's not always right. And for the most part, it's not positive. So we have a situation or we have a platform touching bases with the people where the people can speak truth to power. We need to help each other. We need to get our shit together, man. Excuse my French, but that's the truth. You're my shock him. Ross said there should be 26 thumbs up in the video. Yeah, hey, man, and plus some. Plus some. Yes, sir. Support the channel, people. Like, subscribe, share, and comment to this get down, y'all. We're trying to find a way. We're trying to affect a new get down. We're trying to set in place something other than what we're used to seeing. That in when we see it, we know it's BS. We know it contributes to the problem that our community, and that's another thing, man. We have to get back to the point where we understand that we are one. We are all we have, man. We have to stop separating, dividing, and allowing division to take place in order for people to do their thing, man, to work, their magical, mojo against us, man. We have to come together. We have to do that, man. So don't just support this channel. Support those channels, man, that are pushing positivity, that are pushing for the people, man, to get an understanding in terms of what's really going on with us. This gang stuff is just a part of it. It's bigger than that, though. And this is what I've been trying to stress to the people. It's bigger than that, man. But yeah, it helps create this atmosphere amongst us where all we're tripping on is each other. you know we that's it. We don't trip on nobody else. We'll allow other people to disrespect us, talk down to us, man, look down upon us, make us feel, less than, we'll allow that, but let a brother or sister want to check you verbally and say something that's right, say something you might find even out of line or disrespectful. What we do? What's the first thing we do? Immediately we go in. Ain't no passes. We don't give each other passes. We give everybody else a pass. Something's wrong with that, man. I'm telling you, part of that problem is social media, because this is all we're seeing. It's being fed to us constantly. It's just repetitive and redundant. That's all we see is we, each other, disrespecting each other, doing something to each other, but nobody else. So it becomes this thing that locks in our mind, and this is behavior. It's like it's so repetitive, it becomes a learned behavior. So we learn to treat each other, in the foulest way, man, with no respect, no regard, no dignity, and nothing, man. But everybody else, they get that. Something's wrong with that, man. That's all I've been saying. That's all I've been saying. I'm from where y'all from, man, the streets, you know. But I know, man, enough is enough. I know that we need a lot more people saying enough is enough. And not just saying it, but saying it to the rafters, to the rooftop, man. And then not just screaming it out, a chorus of voices saying this, but we got to start figuring out ways to act on this. We have to figure out ways, man. It's up to us. It ain't to nobody else, man. And as long as we allowing this stuff to go, guess what? Those platforms that dispense this BS, man, all day, every day, they're going to continue to do that. And the hope is that we continue to self-destruct, because only then, that's the only way they'll have content. They'll have content that way and only that way. There's no other way. A lot of them, they can't function. There's no get out, man. The platforms would cease to exist. You might have one or two might want to go into this music thing, sign certain artists, but that'd be the same get down. It's just on the music tip. But in terms of bringing something positive to the community, to the people in the community, they ain't got no script for that, man. That script don't exist. It can't exist. It goes against the bottom line. That's all I've been saying, and that's all other brothers and sisters have been saying about this thing in social media that affects only us. So, let's figure it out, y'all. Let's figure it out. We don't have a whole lot of time. And again, ain't nobody coming to save us from ourselves. Just ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. So yeah, man, support the channel, man. Support other channels like this. I think that's the way to go. That's a start. That in that way, we get out there more. These platforms that speaking truth to power, man, about our people and the situation we're in, it'll get out there more. We want to get it to the point where if you got 20 of them platforms and channels doing that same BS, we need to have at least 7 or 8. That's a start. That's a start. We got to be on top of this stuff, man. Hey, Cleveland, how you doing, loved one? How are you, bro? Yes, yes. He said, preach to the people, bub. Hit us with some fantastic knowledge on this Undergroove podcast. Again, though, hey, man, say hello, homie, first and foremost. I love you, homie, and respect you. Real spit. See, you a brother that got meat in this. You got meat on this bone, man. I know. A lot of people don't know. That's in this chat. They don't really know, homie, but I know. To see this going down like this, man, it got to affect you. It has to touch you in a certain way. It got to bring back this visceral feeling about your own loss, and how, the streets or social media played a role in that, man. We have to get to the point where we're dealing with some stuff, man, in a way that we probably haven't dealt with things in the past, We probably already decided that, hey, man, oh, man, no. We have to get in this fight, bro. You know what I'm speaking to, man. Yeah, man. But like I say, you're my Sheikh Ra. It's more of us, man. I just threw one out there, and they're not necessarily they don't necessarily speak to the gang mentality, you know what I mean? But they air things related to it, man. They speak truth to power about blackness. Man, they going in. They're going in, seeing that's the thing, man. I think the objective should be known about Under the Groove. This podcast, this platform, it is to transition, you know, from that. You know, we spoke about history, Hoover's history, but that, you know, that microcosm of what we need to be discussing. And so we're making that transition because I think, man, politics affects each and every one of us every day. Economics, each and every day affects us, man. Poverty, you know, disenfranchisement, employment, unemployment, those types of things, man, that, you know, we need, honestly, to make sure that we're taking care of our responsibilities when it comes to our families, you know. The things we have, these material things, be it a lease, rent, mortgage, whatever the case may be. We have to start discussing all this stuff, man. Right now on social media, all we're discussing is this back and forth between brothers and sisters. You know, this game mentality stuff, man. It's out of hand. You know, and again, I say enough is enough. Um, we got to get the point across, though, man. We got to get this point across, man. We can't stop. We can't keep blaming these other platforms, man, because they're doing what they're doing. You know, they made their choice. And I said this the other day, man, they made their choice. And when these platforms, these brothers on these platforms with these other people or whatever, you know, when they say what they say, they mean it. And we have to start taking that not just to heart, but to mind. You know, hey, listen to what people say. Again, man, trust them on it. Believe them. That's what they're saying. And they say it enough to, you know, it leaves no discrepancy on their part. You know, they're not mincing words with nobody. They're telling them, telling you and everybody else, this what I'm on. You know, and I imagine when things change, not if, but when things change, watch, watch how they flock over to this side. And this side is that the side where positivity lays. You know, it's like, you know, our positivity is positivity are like seeds. We're trying to plant these seeds, man, and see if something grows, man. And if it grow high enough, if it sprout right, they're gonna want to come over, man, and water it. You know, all of a sudden they want to be a part of it. No, that's fine. But I'm telling y'all, man, just remember, man. Remember who's saying what and how they said it, who did what and how they did it. That matters. That matters. So I'm going to move on from that. Um, hey, all right now, MH, and I appreciate that shout out. She said, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Please do, people. You know, because like I say, man, hopefully our objective is if we get one person a day to start tapping in and getting a bar of this and coming in and chatting, saying something positive, saying something that affects them, that they know ails them, or, you know, has them in a situation that they, you know, they're not comfortable in. Most who the hell could be comfortable living the way they're living, especially if it's negative, especially if they don't know, you know, from one street to the next they'll be alive. You know what I mean? If they, you know what I mean. This thing is about that. We want to bring that. We want to let people know, hey, man, there's more than hope, man. There are people, man, we're looking and pushing to change this whole mindset, you know? And I'm telling you, the way we start doing that is start tapping into these platforms that bring about this get out, man, of change. It's time for us to change. It's time for us to evolve, you know? Got to get down with the get down, y'all, and focus on the focus. I think that's the most important thing, man. That is the most important thing. So yeah, man. Shoot first said it's not social media fault, OG. Social media is a tool. It's the person's fault. I'm gonna be a broken record, but it's a lack of accountability, homie. Misplaced, misguided energy. Nobody to blame but self. And I don't know if I expressed it right or said it right, but that's what I'm saying. I agree with you wholeheartedly. At what point do we start pointing fingers at people? Oh, Whitey this and the JW's that and no jumper this and hey man, wait a minute. None of that can be if we get our stuff together, we have to be accountable for us, our actions, our thoughts, words, and actions, our education. And we've been pushing this now for over a month. We have to re-educate ourselves first. And only then I think will we be able to understand and see that, yeah, man, it ain't nobody else's fault. Once I realized I was miseducated, then what? I had to go and re-educate myself. So yeah, I got to stop pointing the finger at people. I agree with you wholeheartedly, S. That's shoot first. And that's some solid stuff, man. This is what we got to be on, man. We got to take responsibility, accountability for our get down and stop saying, well, yeah, social media is all messed up. It's a beast. It's mine. I can't help. No, man. You, me, we, us, we have to be accountable. It wouldn't exist without us. Facts. It would not be able to sustain itself if we didn't participate in that. Yeah, that's on us. So yeah, we need to get to the point where we're dealing with that. We're dealing with our fault in this get down. Truth to power, shoot first. Truth to power, man. Michelle Hall says, we can't throw blame at them without accepting our own blame. We have to stop the participation. And that's what I've been saying, though. That's what we've been saying. Hey, man, don't look. Don't like. Don't share. Don't comment. Don't subscribe. This is how we start chipping at that, And that's us taking responsibility. That's us being accountable, Say, for instance, you didn't watch it or whatever the case may be, but you shared it. Come on, man, that's still part of the problem. We're still in a way condoning or supporting that BS, man, that's doing us harm, doing us damage. So again, great point, shoot first. Great point, Michelle Hall. Appreciate that. Lisa, he got the book. You got the book? Beautiful. Man, read that book, man. And the name of the book, in case a lot of y'all haven't heard, especially you guys who are new to this get down, is Know Thyself. This is the book, people. This is the book we started with. Get a bar of that. Get a bar of that, man. We sat together last night and touching bases with the People Book Club, and we had discussions on that get down, man. And I have to say, we're building that as we go. Members gonna come in, people gonna come in, want to be involved, man. And in fact, it was also suggested that even if you don't have the book, come on, man, get the passcode, man, get the address to the Zoom get down, man, because it's in the description. Hey, and jump in, just to listen, just to hear, just to hear what's being said about knowing thyself. A lot of what we're going through, a lot of what we're experiencing as a people is because we don't know ourselves. We've been miseducated about who we are, so I just think that's a good look, man. That is a good look to get the book, Lee. Appreciate knowing that you got it, man. People in the chat should give you kudos for that, man. Give you medals for that, because that's a step forward. I guarantee you, when you read that book, you're going to get something profound from it. Trust. But yeah, we had that get down yesterday, and we just started that conversation with open-ended questions. We encourage people, to come in with their questions, thoughtful responses in terms of the first chapter that we read. Very insightful. One thing we all agreed upon was the fact that we have been miseducated. And so as a result of that, we have no identity. So a person who don't have identity, or people who don't have identity, they can't respect who they are. They don't know. They'll treat themselves any old kind of way, man. That's part of that get down. So that is, again, man, salute to you, Lee, for getting the book, man. Great work. 100 for unity and positivity. All right, G Wiz. All right. Hey, Chris, man, I see you. 223. Oh, man, lost my place, but that's okay. Okay, there you go. Yeah, man. Okay, let me answer this real quick. Omar Ali, would you come to back on Fig? Again, man, I don't have a problem with back on Fig. I really don't. I think it would do the people some good to be, able, to go and sit and visit, that platform, man. I have questions for them, as I'm sure they, if I ever went on there, they have for me. Um, I think back on Fig could be one of the beacons in this get out, man. They could really shed some light on what's going on, man, and not lose any sponsorships or advertisements or any donations or what the case may be, whatever the case may be. They wouldn't lose, you know. Um, it depends on them. I said last week or early in the week, Tuesday and last week, I don't think a fair exchange is a robbery, man. I know Smack personally. We've hung out together, man. Had a few drinks and shit, talk shit. That's what we did. It was all gravy, man. Wasn't business. We were just bonding, brothers. Chopping it up. I've never met T Rail. I'm waiting on that opportunity to be 100. Um, yeah, man. Five Deuce was a place I used to hang out at quite often. you know, Got a lot of love for the homies down that way. A lot of love and respect. Straight up. Um, so yeah, man, fair exchange ain't no robbery. I would like to have them here, and if they so see it necessary or effective to have me on their get down, hey, let me know. Let me know. But I would support them as much as I like to think that they would support me. All right. Poke Mitchell podcast said we can't hold back anymore. Like you explained on one of your podcast episodes, we have to bounce off one another. Truth to power. I think that's the only way, well, that is the only way that we can actually be educated properly, and that's through each other. To be or to allow ourselves to be educated by others or people other than ourselves, bad business. Bad business. And it's bad business because the true education of the black man will not be imparted to him. So it would be substituted for another mode of education, so to speak, an education by someone else who will find that educating us in their way of thinking, and their cultural survival would benefit them more than would us. Just look at the results. I just said a mouthful, but if you pay attention, we've been educated by them. Who has it benefited? Who has our education or the education they gave us benefited? Us or them? We can all remember being in school. Those of you who still go to school, it could be the grade school, middle school, high school, even college and universities. They still educate us to their standards. They're not going to educate us to our standards, to our history, our identity. That would be a fallible thing. That would hurt them more than it, what I mean, would hurt us. It would help us, but hurt them. Put it like that. Them educating us the way they do, it helps them, but hurts us. So, that's just it on that, man. That's just it on that, man. That's what I have to say about that. All right, all right. Shoot first, say okay. Yeah, you already said that though, bro. And like I said, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. It's nobody's fault. It's our fault. Again, though, at what point is enough enough? At what point do we begin to get down in this get down, man? When do we start focusing on the focus? When do we acknowledge that a lot of our problems extend from or come from or exist because we have been miseducated? We have their education. We have knowledge of them. We don't have knowledge of self. That's the problem. Once we start to educate ourselves, man, I'm telling you, can nobody else come and educate you, you know, about you, who you are, where you come from, and what you're supposed to be on, what you're supposed to be about, your direction. these goals, man. We have ancestors, man. We have their DNA. Their blood still exists in us, man. Ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like black blood. It carries, man, multitudes of history and knowledge, man. Ain't nobody else can claim or confess. You know, it's ours. But they found a way to not trigger it, but they found a way, man, to stagnate it, to stagnate the knowledge in the DNA. Again, but again, we have to stop saying, okay, their fault, their fault, their fault. It's on us, man, to figure out a way to get the education we need so that we can not just exist or survive, but thrive. Thrive. Some of us just exist day to day. Some of us just survive day to day. But most of us are not thriving day to day. It's because we've been miseducated. You don't believe me? Like I say, man, it's a whole lot of literature and knowledge out there. Not just our people put out there, but them too. It's right in our face. Right in our face. I was talking about a situation in the joint, how you put shit in people's face and they'll look right by it. Them people have a saying as well. They say, hey man, if you don't want a black person to know something, guess where they say to put that? Not on social media, in a book. In a book. How insulting is that, man? That's insulting, man. So let's get this education, man. Detroit Rock and say, what up, though? Salute from Detroit to Cali. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. Detroit up in this get down, man. Hey, that's something. That's something. That is something. He goes on to say, man, hey, Bub, what would you tell the youngsters that's in gangs that want to get out? What advice would you tell them? First and foremost, man, when we're talking about gangs, man, we got to understand why a lot of us gravitate to gangs. Well, nowadays it's different. It's absolutely actually different. But what I would say to any young cat, man, I don't care where he is, where he's from, man, that's in a gang and they want to get out, just get out, man. Get out. Have more fear about staying there than leaving, But when you get out, man, have you a plan? Why you getting out? Why you want to get out? I mean, I know that, it's rhetorical in a way, but I know why you want to get out. You want to live, man. You want to expand, excel. You want to grow. You want to be something. Hey, man, if you have it in your mind, you say, man, this is some BS, man, walk away. At that point, walk away, man. And as you're walking, man, start planning your life, man. Start deciding. Well, first start understanding that you're on a road, man. Now you might be on the road by yourself. And that's fine. That's fine, bro. Sometimes we need a little time by ourselves because it's therapy. See, you're away from the chatter and all that shit that's coming at you that's negative. Now you can speak to yourself. You want to get out of this stuff, man? Get out of that stuff, man. Because ain't nothing going to come of it but two things, bro. Promise you that. Especially if you're active. Prison or death. Some of them, man, end up being paralyzed, paraplegics, man, losing limbs and, having a disability as a result of being shot, stabbed, or whatever the case may be, man. If you have it in your mind to walk away from gang banging, go with your first mind, bro. Go with your first mind, bro. You can love the community you come from. But I think part of the problem is we get caught up in this tribalism and we don't see the real root of this get down in this tribalism. We move beyond that, man. It's just a tribe now. You're rooted, man, in history, bro. If your mind is telling you to walk, walk. But like I said, as you're doing that, make sure, man, you have a plan so that you don't go back or fall back. What the Christians say or people religious say, they say, slide back fallback. It's some term they use where you want to you want to live a life free of sin, but then there, something happens, you regress, you go back to the life of sin. I forget the terminology, man, but it'll come to me, brother. If you're ready to walk, sister, if you're ready to walk away from that stuff because you realize it's detrimental, best advice you gave yourself: walk away, walk away. And as you're walking away, when you find yourself away from that, you find time to yourself away from that BS, all that havoc, that chaos, that destruction. Start planning, man, your life. Start planning your life. You know, have a goal, have an idea that you can put in place. Have somebody that supports you. And I'm willing to bet there are people willing to support you because they want to see you do better. They'll go out their way to help you. Allow that help, man, to take place. Allow it to come and help you, man, live out your life, man, your dreams, bro. Because you getting out, ain't no telling, man, what you do with what you can and will do with yourself and how you may bring that back to the same community that might be in more dire need of your love and support. What you remember, how you come from some stuff, man. You coming back to help them, man. Get up out of that, bro. Get up out of that. I wish somebody had told me, asked me that. You know, if I wish somebody was around so I can ask that question. For you brothers and sisters, man, that don't have this, hey man, you don't have to be in this get down, bro. This get down is for those, man, that don't want a future. That don't want a future. I'm telling you, man, as an ex-gang member, leave it alone, bro. It ain't it ain't nothing, man. I got a lot of memories that are sad. I got some good memories, because there are a lot of good people in this stuff, that were caught up just like me. To this day, some of them are still living. We chill, we sit back and we reminisce. And I'm gonna tell you, one of the main things we think about is those who are not here anymore. How young they was when they left, what they could have been if they were here now. What they would have brought to the table, because these were smart people, intelligent brothers and sisters. My advice to you is to run. Straight up. Run. Don't look back, man. Go forward. Focus on the focus, man. Focus on what you can bring to your life that's positive, and as a result, something that you can hand out, you can give to others around you. Do that, because in there, man, you ain't getting nothing. You're not gonna get nothing positive from it, bro. Nothing. Nothing positive will come from that. Ain't nothing but chaos, man. Death, incarceration, man. Just it's demoralizing, bro. You want to be a human being, man, who have a place in your society, in your community, man, leave that stuff alone, bro. It's a whole lot going on, man. And we're led to believe that that's the only thing happening for us, especially our youth. Be running around acting like fools or whatever the case may be, man. That's not it. My advice to you, man, is if your first mind is telling you, hey, man, this ain't cool. I didn't like how last night went or today. Oh, man, that's my heart, my mind said that went. Hey, man, follow your first mind. Follow your heart, man. Get the hell out of there or away from that as quick as you can. But have something in place. Start working on a plan for yourself, man. School might not be the means, to beat all. You know what I mean? That's a possibility. But young minds, man, are fertile, man, in terms of ideas. Because a lot of you guys, man, though you hang out, you do a lot of stuff, irrational stuff, insane stuff, idiotic shit. A lot of you guys are not idiots. You're intelligent brothers and sisters, smart. You guys know social media and tech better than a lot of people that put it out there. Just haven't been given the opportunity to expand your knowledge, to open them horizons for yourself. Have a plan for yourself, man, when you leave that, you know? And then one of the plans I think should be go to somebody that you know will support you on this new journey, this new path you want to be on, man. And stick to it, bro. Backslide. Backslide was the word I was looking for because there's that potential. Because sometimes life, man, life ain't easy, homie. Life will get hard real quick. And when that happens to a lot of us, man, guess what we do? We go back to what we know because in our minds, we allowed it to be set in our minds that that's the easiest thing I've done, I can do. I know how to do that. Just hang out in the streets, be a fool. Life is hard, man. Get on the road now, man, so that you get used to it. You understand what hardship is, so you know how to handle it. All right? That's my advice, man. Leave the gang stuff alone. It ain't worth it. It's not worth it. Shoot first say, you think black gangs will ever transition into workforces, politics, unions like the mob? No, because again, we weren't educated like that. When you talk about the mob, those that did that came up in the streets same way, you know, pushing the line, on local businesses or whatever the case may be, man. However they developed it, The fact of the matter is, they had education in terms of who they were and where they come from, you know, and most of the people around them did too. A lot of people don't know. A lot of that shit was supported by their people. It just was. Now, they had enough sense, excuse me, to figure out a way, man, to make it to legitimize what they did, be it through the union, in politics, commerce, businesses or whatever. They did it. They did it. And you got to look at the history. They had a hard fight because other people saw what they were doing, understood it. And the people, again, if we get an understanding of, if we get this education that we need, then we will be able to understand a lot of things, history in particular. A lot of them were considered ninjas in Europe. Couldn't stand them. Couldn't stand them. There's a lot of history on that, man. But anyway, them people had an identity to start with. They had their history. They had their history. They had their education before the education system was even able to educate them. Excuse me. Mothers, fathers, uncles, aunties, brothers, and sisters lacing them. Boom, boom, boom. So that was in their favor, man. I think that's what helped them. That's what sustained them. Even when the government came after them, when they knew what they were doing, they still won. We don't know how many corporations they've invested in. We can't speak on how many politicians got their seat because they campaigned for them, if that's what you want to call it. You know what I mean? We can't say, or we don't know how many unions got their start with them people. But we can say, whether people want to admit it or not, they found legitimate ground. Can blacks ever do that? Can black gangs do that? Yeah. But it can't be done the way they did it. It just can't. You can't do it that way. That way it's been done. You know what I'm saying? So there's understanding there from whatever side that would oppose that get down. So black can't do it like that. We have to do it as a unit, as black folk, man. We have to do it based upon, man, our knowledge of, like I said, self. We don't have that. We got to get to that point first. Then we got to understand, man, how education can help us get to the point where anything we do, first, we're going to do it legitimately. Because it's a lot of stuff. Hey, man, I'm telling you, you cannot mix oil with water. They're not going to have that from us. They're not going to have it from us. I'm saying when I say we can't do it like they did it, I'm saying we have to do it our way. That's what I mean by that. I'm not saying there's nothing we can't do. I'll be the first to say that. I'm hey man, I trust that if we decide to do something, it's gonna get done. So yeah, it's just not the way they did it. You know, I think because we're in terms of humanity and how we are, man. See, again, we just lost our way. That's all, man. But in terms of our humanity, we're a different breed. We're a different breed. And based on that, man, I think, man, it could be done. It just would go about, it be went about a different way. We wouldn't take the same route they took. It wouldn't be so obvious, if that makes sense. If that makes sense, shoot first, you know. Yamashi Kamra said, excellent book. And I'm sure he's talking about Know Thyself. Yes, it is, man. Poke Mitchell, man, he said, man, appreciate you. Sinbad never appreciate you, Sinbad. Never met you, but your brother T-Show. Okay, that's some personal shit. Again, see, this the chat, man. And we touching bases with the people. Obviously, we got the brothers touching bases with each other, so I'm gonna leave that alone. They know what it is. Handle that thing, man. Appreciate seeing that though. Shoot first say, man. Let me see this. Shoot first said, I recommend the YouTube channels, Senator TV, yeah, and the House of Consciousness. It's ran on an ex-NOI member, I think Nation of Islam member. I think y'all could cook up a plan to get Black scholars and older members talking. I think that's the objective too. Um, See, there's a wealth of knowledge in the old heads, man. We ain't even tapped into that yet, bro. See, most times when we're talking to old heads, guess what we're talking about? Gang shit. Now there's a wealth of knowledge in that too, because it can, if you listen correctly, it can show you the pros and cons of whatever the case may be. Not only that, but it can give you wisdom in terms of, okay, what not to do. You know what I mean? And what road not to go down. But there's a wealth of knowledge there, man, that has not been tapped into. Most of the older brothers, the G's, man, that we speak to, um, for the most part, they speak of unity. Let's get that straight. They speak of how things were unified back in the day. As well, they speak about how things took a turn for the worse also, or not initially for the worse, but how things had started to get out of hand, I think. These same brothers, man, need to be invited to these podcasts, these platforms, man, now to speak about how do we change the direction of our people, especially our youth. You know, what can you guys impart to them? What can you guys share with these young brothers and sisters that will get them to thinking, on a conscious level, man, about themselves, man, in the communities they call themselves representing. Um, I got a couple of surprises in coming days, but that's some real stuff right there. Um, I don't mind having individuals, man, who are not only black that we can identify, but black and who we that we can identify with, who are politically not savvy but knowledgeable. Who are conscious. You know what I mean? Who have a certain way about themselves that it comes off of them like, hey, you want some of that. You know what I mean? Like lotion. Someone get the ass off of you because that's how lustrous it is. You know what I mean? That's how, boom, man, give us that shine. We need brothers like that to help us, man, get to shine, man, in terms of who we are, man, and what we need to be doing. So I'm with that, 100% with that. Real spit, man. Um, okay, so Yerma Shakim Ross said, read and apply The Falsification of African Consciousness by Amos Wilson. I heard of that one. I'm trying to recall if I read it or not. Chris 223, shoot first. Okay, is money a false sense of problem solving and a road to paradise? Can it bring us closer to God? Okay, and that's for you, shoot first. So you guys see again, touching base with the people, man. There's that dialogue, man. There's that exchange, man, that this platform want to bring to the people, man. We have to start connecting each other and asking these questions, man, that have weight. These questions of substance, man, they could be profound, man. For somebody not even in that conversation, for them to see it, it's enough to give them something to think about. All right. Damu Robbins, salute to the chat, man. He said, I'm currently rereading the Black Jacobins on the Haitian Revolution. Happy Black August. Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with that book as well, bro. Hey, and appreciate you coming to the Get Down, Damu. That's Damu Robbins, man. Hope to see you again, man, every Tuesday and Thursday from 6:30 until, all right? Um, like, share, comment, and subscribe to the Get Down, people. And hey, man, bring it to the platform, bring it to the chat, man. Everything that's above board, that's respectful, something that's beneficial to us, man. We not arguing on here, calling each other ninjas and bees and marks and busters and all. It don't do nothing, man. It don't pay our rent. It don't pay our mortgage, car notes, buy groceries, utilities. That only serve those who have them platforms. That's why they continue to bring that stuff up there. But for you brothers that's coming in and y'all new to this Get Out, stuff like that is what we need, man. Knowledge. You sharing knowledge, man. You giving people an opportunity to go look at something different. You give them an opportunity to educate themselves. That's all we're asking for. When you come on here, let's help to educate one another. You're not gonna get that nowhere else. I'm not, I'm getting to the point where I'm not mentioning names or well, I don't mention names, but platforms. You know, it's, it's not our focus, man. Our focus is each other, man, and trying to enlighten one another because we are in dire straits. We are benighted, as the word, that's the word. We're benighted, ignorant, man, right now. That's all. Door number two, what it do, man? All right, bro. Good seeing and get down again. Backslide. Yeah, see Shan backslide. It came back to me, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody said backslide. Okay, my bad, y'all, for forgetting. Crazy thing is, I came up in a Christian household, man. I'm gonna tell this story real briefly. Uh, came up, man, in church, man. True Gospel Church, man. True Gospel Baptist Church, 78th and Hoover on the corner. Me and my brother, man. Uh, we get maybe 50 cent. Never was a dollar. 50 cents, 75 to put to the tray, into the plate. We go in there, man, sit down in the back, and raise the hand to go to the bathroom. You go first, or I go first, but we'll meet out in the alley. You got that little change in our pocket, man. Right next door to the church was a market, and Asians ran the market. They'd been there for a long, long time, man. Anyway, go in there, man, and now later, so we buy candy, dollars worth of candy. uh, if I'm remembering correctly, we might sneak back in an hour later. Cause church back then, man, it was forever to us. As a kid, man, you sitting in church 3-4 hours, and we fall asleep, get pinched, wake, you get slapped on the leg or something. We snuck back in. You go to the plate. That plate go around 3-4 times, man. So we come back around, so about 6-7 cents in there, dime or something. you know. But we were raised in the church, and a lot of loved ones that I grew up with was raised in the same church, man. I met a lot of homies going to that church. And then rest in peace to the homie Swollen, man. He was one of them, man. You know, rest in peace to the homie, man. Yeah, but yeah, raised in the church, man. I was in the choir, bro. I was in the choir, bro. Um, I don't know, man. I got stories. Some of them I'm reluctant to tell, and some I don't mind telling, man. But I got church stories too, man. But I was a part of that get down. I was a part of that get down, man. My whole family was actually. I remember my grandmama. she used to have a picture of white Jesus right at her front door, but his face was right over the United Nations building in New York. And I used to ask her, why is his face over the building? He said, "Oh, well, the world needs Jesus. This building is the United Nations." She told me all about the building, and that was when I was a young teen. In fact, I wasn't even 13. I'm probably 12 years old, you know, 11, 12 years old. And she told me about that, you know what I mean? But she had white Jesuses all over the house. And I'm like, damn, Mama Teresa, what, she said, this is our God. This is what you tell us. White Jesus with John F. Kennedy, uh, $50 in these picture frames. I don't know if y'all remember that, man. My grandmother, the two people she loved was white Jesus and John F. Kennedy, you know. But crazy thing about my grandmother, she was a hustler. She's a hustler, man. That's what she was, But she was a hustler that believed in white Jesus, and thought that John F. Kennedy was the best thing to happen to black folk, you know. Um, I didn't love her no less, you know what I mean? I didn't love her no less, man. That was grandma's, man. I know she loved me, man, no matter what. No matter what, man. She loved me and my bro enough to come kick in the shack door with a gauge. Yeah, the homies like, man, y'all can't come up in the shack, man. Y'all grandma be tripping. Like, hey, we come up in the shack, man. We gonna hang out. But yeah, man. Yeah. That religion, man. Shoot first. I don't know if I read this. Shoot first said money was made to solve problems. It does its job. I get your point. Money doesn't equal happiness, but it definitely brings you close enough. LOL. If you got a free 100, 100K and all debt clear, you be happy. LOL. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all need to, so does money really solve all problems? One, does money make you happy? And I know these questions been asked many times, not on this platform, but just in life in general. Two questions. Does money solve problems? And I understand what he means because, sometimes you need money to pay a bill, utility, whatever, buy some food, boom, I get it. One, does money solve problems? See, because really you just paid enough to keep the, debt collector off your ass. You just bought enough food to last you a week, maybe two. But the reality is, in a week or two or next month, them same people or those same issues still exist. I don't know. You're still paying for it. You're still paying for it. Does it solve problems? And two, does it make you happy? So those are some questions y'all can address if you like. Let's see where that one goes. But I appreciate that. Shoot first. I appreciate that question and get out like I'm sure most do. Poke Mitchell, man, or getting out the gang is realizing your gift and talent and wanting to do something with it. While you can, because it's a bunch of brothers that I did time with that understood it was wasted talent. Yeah, man, I used to draw my ass off, man. I mean, I still draw. I still draw. I recall my grandma. I did this thing in Lauren Miller. The homie Tank, he know about it. A lot of homies know about it. It was put into a contest at LAX. This was back in like 1975, 76. But I ended up drawing Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, the signing of the Declaration of Independence. On this, it was at least it was like a mural, but not necessarily a mural. But it was on paper, art paper, and it was framed in all this little, you know, uh, that school paper we used to use, to frame stuff. But anyway, they rolled it up and because it ended up being like in a scroll type form and entered it into this art contest that was held at LAX. and I ended up winning first prize. All right. I mean, that was so long ago, man. But from that point on, I just would draw. I started drawing all kind of stuff, man. My grandma, she would take me to like art stores, because she wanted me to start painting. Oils, pastels, all this stuff. Bought me easel and everything, man. Canvas, just hooked me up. Guess what? Streets was calling. You know, by 12 years old, there was a wrap, man. I was in the streets full fledged, So it was just something I did on the side, just drawing. But I was more of a portrait type of dude. I could draw faces really well. That was my thing. But yeah, yeah, we lose. We a lot of us have talents, man, and I think when we get caught up in a lot of the stuff, man, that's not talent worthy. You know what I mean? We lose that talent. We lose that ability, that gift, man. You know, God given or whatever you want to call it. We lose it. Um, just I haven't lost it. The homies tell stories how they come in the cell and I've drawn solar system, airplanes, but I'm naming every part of the plane. Stuff like that. I would just do that. The whole skeletal system, the bone, the muscle system. I just the stuff that's what I like to do. But yeah, man, I still get out, man. A lot of us have lost talents, or we squandered the talent. We still have talent, but we've squandered it. We haven't used it to our benefit, so to speak. So yeah, man. What up with it? What up with it, young Don? What's on your mental, man? Drop something in there with us, boy. All love and respect, homie. Door number 2 said the root to a lot of our community issues come from finance and economics. Learning and teaching that will assist in our community advancement. Now, I think the root, again, I mean that's part of it. I'm not debating that that's a part of the get out, but the root to our issues as a community, or to the issues that are in our community, is the miseducation of who we are, man. That's it. You know. Um, yeah. Also, there's that thing where we weren't taught economics, politics. We were taught American history. You know. You know, English. You know. Uh, we're doing math. In school on the 6th grade level, and we're in junior high and high school. You know what I mean? It's about the miseducation, man. That's one aspect of it. But just based on what you're saying, there is truth to what you're saying. Our communities weren't always. Whenever we moved from where we came from, the South, back east, Midwest, wherever, we came with a plan. Our people who came before us, our grandmothers and grandfathers, they came in with the business, got good jobs, man. Were able to buy homes, you know what I mean, and invest money, man. Get insurance. I remember my grandmother having insurance on my mom's, her husband, and stuff like that. Talking about getting insurance on me. I remember the insurance man coming, to pick up the money. I recall insurance man being jacked. Homies knew the insurance man knew when he was coming with on every street was jacking them. I'm just saying, but we had it together. You know what I'm saying? I think there was a lot at stake that not prevented us, but precluded us from being in the position we should be in. And a lot has to do, with, again, just the miseducation. A lot of it has to do also with a system that was against us from jump. When you take jobs from a community, guess what? It's unemployment. Now, you got unemployed brothers and sisters with no means to support themselves, buy food, pay rent, utility, get gas, or whatever the case may be, buy the kids clothes, shoes, things of that nature. Guess what you think they're going to do? They're going to commit crimes to pay the bills, and sometimes when we get into that mindset of doing that, we get lost in it. Again, we get distracted, so the focus is no longer the focus anymore. It becomes something else. It changed, so there's a lot to it, bro. I don't disagree with you doing number two, but I think education is the first culprit, the first issue with that affects us as a people. We aren't educated. So, Sharp Spear, I see you, man. Good to see you back in the get down, bro. So Sharp Spear says this, and I'm sure y'all see this, man, if you're in the chat, man. And again, man, I would like for you brothers and sisters to start addressing each other. That's a good look as well. Those questions that I think are profound, I'm gonna read, and even some that aren't, I'm still gonna read them because we got people in the get down, man, that deserve to be in the get down and want to be in the get down. So we're gonna acknowledge you as best we can. But Sharp Spear said, you at this time can only be destroyed by yourselves from within and not from without. You have reached the point where victory is to be won from within and can only be lost from within. And that was Garvey. That was the Messiah. That was Marcus Garvey. You said that. Real spit, bro. Oh, my. That remind me of something, a quote I wrote down myself, bro. I thought it was profound. I don't lose my shit, man. Did I screenshot that thing? But I like that, bro. We appreciate that right there, Sharp Spear. More of that is needed. I'm gonna read that one more time because I think it is profound. You at this time can only be destroyed by yourselves from within and not from without. You have reached the point where the victory is to be won from within and can only be lost from within. That was by Garvey, y'all. So Shu first said, OG, have you ever read the book of Enoch or Apocrypha? Apocrypha. No. No, I have not. I've seen a lot of stuff on Enoch lately. Um, I'm kind of like, yeah, decide whether or not I want to get into that. But my brother-in-law talk about it quite a bit. What's happening with it, Drew? All love and respect. Um, so I'm gonna ask him about it because I know he's versed in it. He know what he know about that stuff, man. And I'm gonna hit him up about it, and I'm pretty sure he gonna lace me. And he gonna lace me in a way where I know, okay, now I gotta go look at it. Couple that with what you just said, so I'm end up looking at it. But you mentioning it, give us a brief synopsis of a couple of sentences of what's on, man. Make it more interesting, make us want to go check that out, bro. What is it about? And I'm pretty sure some of y'all here that know. I'm not familiar with it though. Jeffrey Williams, old man Spider said, get them knees ready. I heard he got a date, man. He said, I heard he got a date. Nah. This is Spider. Nope. Hey, look, let's keep 100, man. On the court, you was my competition. I was yours. Didn't nobody play. Look, man, Spider, no, man. Man, Marcus got down. Young Sam East Coast got down. But when it came down to like on that court, for real, and we playing for, I don't eat meat, but we playing for hamburgers and French fries. Them dudes was playing hard, but you had ballers and you had some dudes just wanted to get the burger, so they didn't care how they played. But me and Spider, we had a personal thing, man. I was yard crew, I was clerk, yard crew clerk, and he was I forget, but it was up front where we could get out any time of the day. And I'll be walking back at lunch. He'll be walking, he'll say something, I'll say something. All right, man, we'll see, at the camp. And we'd be out there, man, one-on-one. I don't recall him winning the last game. I think that's an exaggeration. But hey, that was my competition, man. That jump shot was vicious. The boy had springs too. He had springs. I ain't forgot them games, man. But I'm pretty sure Every tournament, man, with the burgers and shit, with the In-N-Out burgers, my team won. We balling. We balling for them burgers. Man, much love, homie. Man, man, Spider ain't still balling, man. Them knees was bad. Spider, you can't still be balling. I had to catch you on a good day now that I remember. How's every day? Like, come on, let's get it. Oh, my knee hurt. Yeah, in the last victory before I went home. I don't remember that. I don't remember that, but that was my guy, man. Hey, man, more power to him, man. Um, man, made it. About to get up out that joint, man. Been gone for a long minute too, man. Good to hear, man. Good to hear, bro. You know, Spider. Them was games dudes used to just wait on the sideline to watch. Especially them head up, them 3-on-3s, running that court. All right, shoot first. He answered his question, man. Appreciate that, man. The people as well, I know they appreciate it. Shoot first said, no, money doesn't directly solve problems, but it is used to solve your immediate issues. And long as you got it, you'll be able to live your life, your happy lifestyle. Yeah. We gonna have a debate on this one though, and I'm not disagreeing because I understand what you said in terms of how money does it can be utilized for a lot of things. But again, I'm saying the problem still exists. The problem still exists where if I got money this month, I know what I need to use it for. You know that issue. You know because see, I got to pay the utility company. You know if I don't, that's a problem. You know, got to pay my mortgage. If I don't, that's a problem. Got to bring food in the house. If I don't, we go hungry. But these issues, they're what you call they're consistent. You know, they're continual. You have money because you got a little money to take care of that. And most times when we have money to take care of that, most of us, when we're done taking care of those issues that stand out most, that are the immediate issues that need to be dealt with or addressed, we have no money. We have very little money left to do the things that we would like to do. You know what I mean? So you got to wait for next month, you know, also to do the same thing over again. So money doesn't necessarily solve a problem. And you did say that. I get it. But um yeah, man, I think money is the problem. I think money is the problem, you know? That's just my opinion. You know, money is the problem. Especially the way the system is geared around um, its use, you know, its use, you know. And then the cold part about it, you know, when you think about money, money ain't really worth the goddamn. Most of the shit we pay for actually is already paid for, you know. So I don't know. We just creating debt, you know. We just creating more debt, you know. I don't know. So there they go. I'm still sitting up tripping on spider ass. Damu Roberts say only way money can bring happiness is if you already overstand truly being happy. Money can solve a lot of our problems, but never all of them. His opinion. In a nutshell. Yeah, yeah. You understand if you overstand first what happiness is truly about, money has no effect on you in terms of your overall state of well-being. You know, in terms, you know, who you are, how you are as a person, what you see and feel, you know, in terms of joy, you know, just being, you know, appreciative of the life you live. You know, I've said this time and again. A lot of people, we misconstrue what wealth is. You know, we misconstrue what wealth is. We think it's about money. Our wealth is not in money. You know, our wealth is in our health, you know, the type of lives we live, our family, you know what I'm saying, the relationship we have with people, you know, our connectiveness. That's our wealth. That's our wealth, man. And with that, you can have anything on the God's son, with that. That's real wealth. That's just, and I don't think that's an opinion, you know. The people, we as people, we're the wealth. Even they see us as such. We are the wealth. They get it from us twofold, threefold. But yeah, when you have happiness and when you have, excuse me, um, this inner peace about who you are, man, and what you're doing in life and those around you, man. There it is, man. There's your money. That's your wealth. You know. And again, when money come into play, it's probably just to augment or to enhance, that joy that you might have for self and those around you. You know what I mean? Take a trip, man. Just whatever the case may be. I get it. But I think our real wealth, our money, is in us. Our relationship, our connectiveness, and how we deal with one another. That's it, man. And again, I don't think that's an opinion. I think that's the reality for us. That should be anyway. It makes it an opinion then. Okay. He said, no, shoot first again. And I'm going to let this go. No, money doesn't make you happy, but it brings you leisure, security, and comfort to find the happiness, to find that happiness. So, in a way, yeah, it does. But I'm not saying you can't find happiness without it, though. Feel me? I feel you. I think that, again, it's how we apply the money. Because I'm telling you, a lot of people, we get money and we got to spend it. When we get it, we have, they tell you, no, you got to spend it. And you look up, you ain't got it no more. Now you're mad. You know, who haven't felt that way? Who hasn't felt that? You have a few racks, man. Next thing you know, man, a week, you're like, damn, now you're mad. You're okay when you had it. But, there was there's an old saying that, money in one's pocket, money burns holes in your pockets. Money will burn a hole in your pocket, you know. Another one, a fool in his money will soon part, or quick to part. It's a whole lot of saying about money, man. G Mac, he's at work right now, but listening to it all. Appreciate you. Get down, brother. And what's good with you, man? You have the job, man, getting it in. That's responsibility right there. Being accountable, you being accountable. All right, I see one, Dad. I see you, man. Doing it from AU. Hope y'all staying safe, man. We are, brother. And how you doing? AU, are you talking about Austin? AU. I thought about that Tuesday, and I didn't let it slip my mind. I just let it go. AU, are you talking about Austin? What are you talking about? Australia? What are you talking about? But I'd like to know. Young Don said, Bub, I know and believe in community dialogue. Talk is good. It's a start. That way, eventually, dialogue will mount to something being consistent. And that's the whole purpose. That's the purpose, man, to create dialogue, man, because I think that through dialogue, uh, you will garner solutions, you know. And for those who do, they uh, have the type of mind or mindful enough to utilize what dialogue has provided solutions. You know what I mean? So I think that, excuse me, y'all. I say it all the time. Communication is key, and communication is that is dialogue. That's what it is. And from that, man, we get to the point where we start bringing up or creating or become mindful of solutions, ways to deal with issues that affect us. And for those who get to that point, then they become the ones, to an extent, some start pushing those solutions and ideas to have them work, you know, for us, on a whole. I think it's imperative to have communication. It's imperative to have dialogue, to save us, man, especially from ourselves, because really ain't nobody hurting us but us. So dialogue amongst us is most important. No one else, you know, no one else, you know, real stuff, man. New Kim, blessings back to you, man. Just tapping in from Inglewood, huh? There you go. This is new, and hey, you guys, here we go. Like I say, man, this get down, man. It's all inclusive. It's all inclusive. When we talking about touching bases with the people, man, we talking about the people. We're not talking about where they from. Where you from? That just that. But you being in the get down is what matters. We're touching bases with the people, man. And actually, where you from? Like I said, that just that's not icing on the cake, nothing. That's just a sidebar type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Okay, whoop the whoop from wherever they listening. But he in the get down, and our hope is though, New Kim, that you share this get down, man. That hey man, share this, the link with somebody. You know, this is the conversation, man, that lead to conversations. This is about touching bases with the people. When you come in again, and I'm going to go, put the cart before the horse. When you come back again, every Tuesday and Thursday, right, 6:30 until whatever, drop something on us, man. Add to this conversation. Add to this dialogue, man. So let's see if we can get something from. Let's see if we can, this help educate us, man. Because I think that's what this is about. The communication, man. We're gonna try to educate each other. I think that's imperative, man. It's important when we do this, man, to know that we're doing this for a reason. And I think the reason is to enlighten each other, man, to educate one another, man. So I appreciate you to get down, brother. Thank you. Yeah, it won't hurt. It never hurts to have money. I guess that depends on who's getting it. Some people can't have money. Some people don't know what to do with money, Some people do too much with money. Some don't do enough, It depends. But yeah, it couldn't hurt. But I have to say, I think it might hurt the wrong person who get it. You know what I mean? Just based on how they handle it. I don't know. See, one day it said can't afford a mortgage. That's dreams here. Yeah, you can, brother. And just we know people that have certain information about programs that will help blacks, black people get home. Real shit. Real shit. I'm gonna tap into that resource or that individual and ask for the information, and I will put that in the link in the description. The link will be in the description. If such a thing exists, I'll put it in the description. So that way, for those of you who say you can't, but you're a responsible individual, man, credit ain't great, whatever, but you take care of your business, whatever. There are programs that would, yeah, that would look out, that would look out, that will help you. So, and I'm sure, every place got, not just California, there's all kind of programs that exist like that. We just don't have, we're not privy to them. We don't have the information. This information, for whatever reason, is being disseminated to other people. It's been given to them before it's given to us. You know what I mean? That's to get out. Because I think that a lot of people think that we ain't caring about that type of stuff. Look at how y'all acting. Look what y'all doing. Y'all not worried about that, So we'll give it to somebody, probably do something with it. But I get it, bro. I hear you, see one dead. I hear you, man. Life is hard, man. Life is hard, bro. Now to answer or to, add to your statement about rent and, what life is in terms of what we make on a job or whatever the case may be. See, one day, Pope Mitchell just said, man, talking about the economy means producing your own. But our mentality has been to help everyone else grow So why black folk help other races' economy grow, instead of our own? And again, the 5 P's, people. There is positivity, and the second one is productivity. It should be productivity, man. And when we have that, man, when we get to the point, like I said, this communication thing is important. Dialogue is very important. We can be the most productive. We are the most productive people on the earth. We just ain't figured out how to be productive for ourselves, man. Again, there's a whole lot behind that, but we ought to be able to do these things, man. We are our own resource, but we don't know how to use us and utilize us as a resource like others. That's messed up. Man, see one dead, I hear you, man. Man, man, bro. I hear you, bro. Whole lot of us like that. You know, I've been home 9 years, man. And yeah, man, it's been a struggle, you know. My whole life in prison, you know what I mean? Um, skillless, you know. Just yeah, I get it, bro. But at the same time, man, ain't nothing gonna stop me, man. I find ways and means find me. You know, I stay thinking positive. I don't, I just know, man, it's gonna be all right. Don't worry about it, you know. But I do try to find a way, man, to improve, the situation. You know, there are ways I'm telling you, man, life is rough, right? Life is hard. Life itself is a distraction. It's just coming at us 24 and some more. We can barely focus, man, on the shit we need to focus on most. I get it. Work our whole lives, man, and end up when it's time to go, we ain't got jack, no legacy, no generational wealth, nothing, no heirlooms, no nothing to leave for our family, our kids. And I get it, man. But we got the most precious thing right now, man. And a lot of us got to realize it, man. Even when shit rough and bad, we got life. We're living. Every morning you get up, man, it's a grand rising, man. And that's an opportunity, man. We got to figure out a way. If you're here, man, you wake up and that sunrise and we got to focus on the focus. You got to get in this fight, man. Even when the fight seems like it's winless. It's something, man. We just got to get to that point, man, where we starting to focus, man, beyond the distractions of everyday life. Focus on the things that's gonna get us to where we feel or we think we need to be as a man or as a woman, as human beings. There's something there. We just ain't put our finger on it yet. Our mind ain't lit to it yet, you know? But hey, man, I understand, homie. Trust me. Whole lot of us do. Whole lot of us do. Probably some of the reasons the young cats act the way they act today. Like, man, I got nothing, man. Shit. And they late teens and early 20s, and and they are already feeling that. This is why we got to come together, man. This is why we got to come together, man, so that we can work together to get what we got coming. You know, we got to earn it though, because ain't nobody gonna give us jack, man. Bottom line, ain't nobody giving us nothing, man. Man, damn, I hate to see that type of shit though. Yeah, be all right, bro. No, you be all right. Stay focused on the focus. That's what I like to tell people, man. And yeah, for a lot of us, it's easier said than done. But you got to accept that you are in the get down. So you got to get down, man. And I don't mean get down like get down, but get down. Get down with this. Get down, man. You know? Again, man, life, it's nothing easy about life. Nothing easy about life, man, living it. Especially when you ain't got shit. Nothing easy about it. Hard. Easiest thing about life is quitting, giving up. Just look around the streets, man. All these people we see, most of them, they do it by choice. Some of them do it by choice. Some of them just gave up. I'd rather keep fighting, man. I'd rather keep fighting, man, than just give up, man. You know, that's me. I'm gonna keep fighting. So I ain't got a breath left for me, bro. You know, whole lot of us just like that. You won, whether you realize it or not. Still fighting. Whole lot of us just like that. Hoover Street said, Bub, did you agree it's important to address the opposition head on when it comes to the movement? Because we need that misguided pockets of the community to be on board with change. And I know what you mean by opposition, man. Those who say, "Ah, man, that's some bullshit." Yeah, I think they need to be engaged. You have to engage them. Yeah, because them is the soldiers who will eventually become the warriors. Yeah, I said it. I said it a month ago. I said it 5 months ago. We're gonna have to be at war with our own just to get, man. That's just reality, bro. It's us. Ain't nobody else doing this to us. It's us, and it has to be addressed. Like I said, this is just the conversation side of it. Just the dialogue. It has to be addressed. They have to be addressed. Now, how we go about it is another thing. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying, man, I'm not promoting or inciting violence on none of us, man. Period, point blank. No. But we have to take some extremes through dialogue first. Hey, man, we have to start talking, man, whether, cats want to hear it or not. Pull up, man, and start hollering, man. This conversation, bro. And show them. You can also, dialogue is one thing, it's speaking, man, but there are other ways and means, man, to expose, what's wrong or what ails the community, man, other than just talking about it. You know what I mean? I think it's very important. It's imperative that we address the opposition, and that opposition being those who, man, fuck that. I ain't with that. I'm from woo woo wah woo woo. Yeah, it got to be addressed, bro. Straight up. You know, that's just the truth. Yeah, we need to get the focus on the focus to these brothers. We need to get that focus to them. The misguided, the miseducated. They need to be guided. They need to be re-educated. They are the community. Like I said, those are the soldiers who will eventually become the warriors. The warriors, man. I was one. I was a soldier. Full-fledged warrior now, homie. And I was one before they let me go, but they kept me that long. They kept me that long, and I get it. I understand. As long as you living, man, you got motivation, people. There's motivation in life, man. I'm telling you. When you wake up and that sunrise and you up, that's motivation. When you get out of bed, the sun motivated you to get the hell up. As long as you living, man, you're motivated. There's motivation. It exists, man. It's real. Motivation is a real thing. Sharp Spear says, every student of political science, economy, and economics knows that the race can only be saved through a solid industrial foundation. Productivity. That was Garvey, by the way. Again, another quote by Garvey. Productivity. Productivity. Our minds have to become industrial minds, industrialized. We have to start thinking in terms of producing. We have to start thinking in terms of, man, building our own economy. It's a whole lot we got to start doing, thinking in terms of doing, and then doing real stuff, man. You know, it's real stuff. A lot of us, you know, man, what does an industrial foundation mean? You know what I mean? A lot of us need to understand that, so that we know how to go about getting that up and running. Again, though, every student of political science, economy, economics, we're talking about people who are being educated. Education, man. You know, education. Education. We got to be educated in how to create or be able to stand on what Darby said. Understand what a solid industrial foundation is. We have to be educated on that shit. And many of us educated on that. Yeah, man. Sharp man. Shoe first said, how is money the problem? It replaced bartering so people can give metals, bills for labor and goods. I think you mean capitalism is the problem. The greed that came from that system. Yeah. Money is part of capital. Money. All right. Let's use capitalism. Everything is based upon money. Capitalism. Even so-called socialists and communist countries or states, they'll indulge in capitalism. It's facts. Yeah, that's the system that runs everything. That's the problem. Capitalism. I think. I just think that, man. So yeah, you worded that right. Capitalism is the problem. But we got to get to this get down, y'all, man. We got to get to this get down, man. New Kim said, I've been there. It's overrated. 100. Health is wealth. And I take it, he's saying he's been in the position where he had money. And I agree with him. I've been in a position where I had some money. You know, I wasn't no millionaire or nothing, but I had some money. And it wasn't everything, man. It just wasn't. Yeah, it got some shit done, but still, it wasn't the means all to beat all. It just wasn't. It just wasn't. Man, see one day I said he's in Australia. Deep, deep south. Anyway, man, be all right. Like I said, hey, Pope, I see you, man. I see you, bro. I love you, man, and respect you. Get your thing, man. Get it up and running. Like I said, I'm there, man. Anytime you drop something, I'm in that get down, bro. I'm liking, sharing, commenting, man. I'm already subscribed, bro. All right. So safe travels to you, my brother. And I'll see you on the next one. All right. Much love and respect, loved one. All right. Yeah, man. Real deal stuff, y'all. Real deal stuff. Man, young Don said money would not make you happy, only for the moment. Money brings problems from within and abroad. That money is the specter of capitalism. It's capitalism's ghost. Hey man, capitalism don't care about nothing but capitalism. So yeah, more money, more problems. They say you got to keep you got to keep making money. You got to keep making money to keep it. You know what I mean? You got to keep making money just to keep it. That's crazy. Kimberly Mitchell, Hoover Hay, Hoover Hay to all my real ones. Hoover Hay to all my real ones. I was just watching the Gremlins with my third eye. We're just like them. Went against the rules and turned evil. Lost funny, but true. Yeah, tell the truth. Same thing. I'm telling you, same thing. Same thing, man. Donald Robbins said, I've been home 11 years straight after doing 19 years straight on all them 4 yards. We create our own heaven or hell. I came home and stumbled into a career, built a marriage and family. Hey, anytime there's a grand rising, you have an opportunity to get it done. You have an opportunity, a new one. Every time that sun rises and wakes you, and you get up out that bed, able bodied, mind intact, there's another opportunity, man, to make something happen. And then a lot of us, it don't come overnight, man. You know, it does not come overnight. You know, but anything they say worth having, worth having well, you have to work at it. You have to work at it. Man, say he built a career and a marriage and a family. That didn't happen overnight. You know, that didn't happen overnight, man. But give him his medals. He's talking about how he stuck it out, man. And that go for a lot of us, man. We stick it out even when we feel like we ain't got no more stick in us. You know what I mean? We ain't got no more adhesive to keep us glued to this. Get out, man. This thing called life, man. It's there. You got it. You got it, man. We all got it in us, man, to do what need to be done, man. So hey, doing me. He said I was on the 4 yard with you, Bubs, at Calipatria. I've been home 8 years now after serving 12 years and am now a business owner with a baby on the way. It was hard at first, but I never gave up. All right, doing me. I appreciate hearing that. You was on the yard. We was in Calipatria, huh? There you go, man. There you go. You came home a year after me then. I've been home 9 years now. Stay working. You know what I mean? Me and my wife, we do our thing, got a home. You know what I mean? We got things going on. We got the family. We have our family. You know what I mean? So I appreciate hearing that, man. Yeah, man, life is hard, man. That's to everybody, man, in the chat that that feel like, damn, life is trying to beat me down, man. Yeah, it will do that if you let it. If you let it, you are in a fight, and that's to live, man. That's the most noble fight, man. The most noble fight you can have is the fight to live. Stay in the fight. Stay in the fight, man. You know, that's just that's truth to power, man. If y'all thinking, man, life is supposed to be a walk in the park, a cakewalk, man, y'all are mistaken. Again, that's part of this miseducation we done got, man. We thinking we can go do a lick for whatever, and that's gonna sustain us. Our problems are over. We can go hang out and do whatever, man. Life is hard, man. Life is hard. Living life is hard. And what I mean by living life, that means we own it. We're responsible. We're accountable. That's some hard shit to do. Like I said, man, the easiest thing is, man, throw your hands up like, man, fuck all this. It's on, and that's easy. It's easy. We've all done that to some extent. Did it make anything better? you know, come on, man. You got to get in the fight, man, regardless. And I'm not trying to take nothing from them. I'm trying to minimize what any of us go through. I'm not trying to explain away how difficult life is or say how difficult life is to explain away, some hardships or anything else you're going through. That's not it. I'm not trying to minimize nobody's experience in the life that they're living. I say life is hard. That's what I say. And hey, man, for those of you who are living that and know that to be a fact, you can't do nothing but agree. Yeah, life is hard. What you gonna do about it, though? What you gonna do about it? Life is hard, man. Bottom line, you know. So it's just a matter of us saying, okay, life hard, I'm in it. I'm in it. I'm in it, man, till it's over. That's just it. I don't know what else to tell you. Other than stay in the fight. Stay in the fight. That's it. That's it, man. Ain't nobody gonna give us nothing. Nothing is gonna fall out of the sky into your lap, man, to make your life any better. That's all on you. And to a large degree, again, if we understood what this thing is really about, life, that's on us. That's on us. To make life for us better, we got to be putting in this work, man. Ain't nobody gonna do that for us. That's truth to power, man. That's just what it is. No one's gonna do that. It's our work. It's our job. Fight through this, man. Got to. Got to. Period, point blank, man. Period, point blank. So put your helmet on, get your armor ready, man. Put your mind right. Focus on the focus. You are in the get out. I told you, man, and we all know this. It's more than what we seeing in the streets, man, with our young ones, our people, man. It's a lot more than that, man. It's a lot more than that. The real fights, man, that's not on YouTube. It's not on YouTube, man. See? So, hey, let's let it do what it do in terms of when I say let it do what it do or it is what it is, I don't mean it just like that, man. I mean for real, man. Put an explanation to that. And not only that, but put action behind that or in front of it. It is what it is. What that mean? Then it is the fact of the matter, you got to get it up and keep fighting, man. Anytime you get knocked down, get your ass up, man. Get your ass the hell up. It is what it is. You might get knocked down a few rounds. Take that 8 count. Take that count, man, but get your ass back up, man. Get your ass up. You might not think you're making no headway, but somebody else might see it different. They might see you struggling, man, regardless. You might be the inspiration or the motivation of somebody else, man. We all in the same boat. Some of us just have different oars, paddles, outboard motors or whatever the case may be, but we're all in the same boat. Yeah, motivation can and it should start with us. But motivation is also that can be derived. You can get it from someone else, or something else. It could be an issue, a circumstance, a situation, a person, some people. Get up, man. Hey, hey, man, how many times I done took it on the chin? We in this, get out, man. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about that. I don't care if you're in the United States, Australia, if you're in Africa, you in the get out. So hey, what you gonna do, man? Come on, bro. Brothers and sisters, real spit. We are in a real fight for our lives. We are at war, man. And half of us don't know it. Damu Robbins said, consistency brings relevancy in whatever we apply it to. Real spit, man. Sharp Spears say we definitely have to have a power wow on economics, ignoring praxeology, praxeology, yeah, can lead to a failing ideology. We are our saviors. We, man. This is real stuff, y'all. All right, see you, JC Senior, man. Appreciate seeing you, man. Salute. Yeah. JC Senior said, tapping in, bub. Salute to everyone, bub, and everyone. Valuable words and knowledge being shared. Time to bring the war tribes together. It's time to overcome. It's time to overstand this situation, and we have to address it. We have to address it. Kimberly Mitchell said, I miss my grandma's old sayings. Get up early when there's good things in the daytime. Be in the house at night because there's evil out, and remembering TV. And remembering TV sayings, where's your children? Yeah. Do you know where your kids are tonight? Yeah. And grandparents hit you with some solid stuff, man. Yeah. My grandmother, so I get kicked. No, I ran away from home. And hey, man, so sleeping in vacant houses, in the shack, in old cars and stuff started to wear on me. And I mean, I used to run away, days and weeks at a time. And I'm like, hey, man. So I attempted to go home. Mom said, I had enough of this shit. I said, boy, you come up in here. I was telling my mom, like, boy, you are not coming up in here. I'm trying to do this, that, and that, and that's how you want to do. Well, you go and stay out there and do that, So I found my way to my grandmama's house. And so in my grandma little street, I was her favorite, so yeah, come on in there, boy. Got an ass whooping. Grandmama hit me with a hammer that night. Yeah, we've been looking for you, and you gonna pop up over here, and so here the rules. You can't come in here coasting, right? Getting high. That's what she called getting high. Well, first I was like, coasting. Yeah, you talking about? Yeah, what you talking about, Martha? Well, you better not come up in here coasting, and she meant that shit, I have to admit, man, my grandmama, I go to sleep, man. I wake up, man, she'd have been through my pockets. She'd have found my weed, whatever money I got, because I ain't had no job. And so she got it all sitting on the dining room table. So when I come in there, like, all right, Mom Teresa, why you, boy, shut the hell up. Where you get this? On my neck. On my neck. You tell me, don't nothing come to a center but hell. Man, like you trying to send me to hell? You know how to get it, but hey man, they had sayings for your ass, But that one, boy, don't come in here coasting. What you talking about, bro? Don't come in here coasting, boy. I ain't playing. So I knew I couldn't go in there high, But hey, man, grandma, old folks had some sayings, man. It sound crazy, but they made sense, man, that you heard a few times. Yeah, I see you though, Kimberly Mitchell, man. Yeah, I miss my grandma as well, man. Oh man. Listen, man, people, people, man, we are all we have. Those are facts. There's no opinion in any of what I just said, man. In turn, what I just said, we are all we have. So that's a fact. And if we continue to just do each other in, man, we ain't gonna have nothing. Ain't gonna no nobody's gonna be left. And like I said, I don't, no tribe of people that did anything by themselves or that person's oneself. If we don't get it together, man, there won't be no more us. There will not be no more us. We are all we have. But to understand that it has to start. We have to accept and acknowledge that we as individuals first, all we have. We have to put in this work, man. We have to acknowledge ourselves as individuals first, as people, as human beings. Again, you got to love yourself, no matter what you're going through. No matter what you are going through in life, you still got to love yourself, man. That's motivation enough right there, loving yourself. And when you get to that point, man, it's going to be all right. You'll be able to love somebody else, man. And that love ain't no telling what it would do for that person or anybody else that person decide to extend it to. But loving yourself is key. I think that's key. And we all have an issue with that. We all have an issue with loving ourselves fully, unconditionally. Ourself, the individual. That's an issue we all suffer from. We don't love ourselves enough to see the bigger picture. And until we do, man, we're not really going to be able to focus on the focus. We're not going to be able to get to that point in our lives as a people where we change some stuff. And from that point on, it's written in our annals of Black history. That becomes the change. That becomes a history. The real history of being free from bondage, psychological shit, man. Psychological slavery. Until we love each other, man, we're slaves, man. We're slaves. And we got all kind of people wanting to buy us and put them on their plantation. We are slaves, man, and we got to get past that. I tell you, the only way to do it, man, is to love yourself. And with that, man, comes education itself. You got to start knowing who you are, man, knowing why you are and why it's necessary that you love the man or the woman that looks just like you. Without each other, we're done for. All right. And I don't mean to end that on that note, man, but I mean to say, man, that, love yourself so that you're able, man, to love someone else, man, who needs it, who needs your love and support. Trust me, whole lot of us out here, we need it. We don't get it. No, we tend to think we get it from other people. That's how bad we want it. We'll take some false love, some fake stuff, and embrace it. Other races, we thought, oh, they love us. Oh, they cool. No, man, nothing. Love yourself, man, so you can love the person that looks just like you, man. You can help somebody, man. Because I'm going to tell you, it starts with love. Helping somebody and supporting somebody starts with love, man. Love yourself, love one another, man. Peace and blessings to the people, man. Power is in the people as much as power should be given to the people, and I mean us. Let's give it to each other. We got it in us to do that, We're in a fight. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Don't worry about getting knocked down. Just get back up, man. The fight continues. All right? You people take care of yourself and take care of each other. All right? Power is in the people. You are, you have been, and you will be under the grove. Power in the people. One love.